In Krishna's sublime vision, even battle, war, can become a meditation. If we think in terms of a material activity, a physical activity, only as that, we miss the point. Every action that we do can become meditative if only we bring some soul into it. So from inside, your state of being determines what the action really becomes. The same action can be transformed. Now Duryodhan is fighting in a very different state of consciousness as Arjun would fight once Krishna has delivered the Bhagavad Gita to Arjun. So it is not the action, the same swordplay, the same archery, but it is the quality deep down which determines the expert, the meditator, the devoted person, from the person who is just doing a mundane activity. So it's a very important aspect of our lives too. In fact, if we look at practical examples in the world, even in the world of work, the world of technology, a company like Apple Computer imbibed the values of this internalized conscious action through the philosophy of Zen, which Steve Jobs was inspired by. Now he brought this ethos of simplicity into product design. Now of course nothing in the material world is perfect, but just to give you an anecdotal example about how it is the quality of consciousness with which we create or do or accomplish even a material task which makes the difference between the superb and the ordinary, the difference between the innovative and the ordinary, the leaders rather than the followers. So a real leader, according to the vision of Krishna, is one who embraces life in all its glory with an internalized sense of creativity, joy, dharma, duty, and from within it is almost as if there is an inner joy even in the midst of any activity which may even seem violent to the outside person. Now in an ordinary interpretation, battle is a violent act. But because Krishna would rather have Arjun defeat the likes of Duryodhan, he emphasizes him to fight. Krishna would not be satisfied by just seeing a Duryodhan emerge victorious. The fight will still happen, Duryodhan will emerge victorious, but no good will come out of it. In fact, if Arjun fights, some good can come out of this violence. So it becomes Arjun's karma to fulfill. And Krishna tells him to do the work, but do not get involved personally. His consciousness will be clear and pure. There will be no personal likes, dislikes, enmities, the way that Duryodhan is feeling, a personal dislike. So Krishna is accomplishing nothing but his Leela, his playfulness, even in the midst of war. Now Leela is a very interesting word. It means playfulness, play, cosmic play. Krishna is in Leela, and through his Leela he is telling Arjun that everything can be done in the right manner. It is just a question of attitude. Begin with a deeper consciousness, and then you will be inwardly rich whatever you do. Even your material act can bring you bliss within, can bring you joy within. But it is in what state of consciousness you are accomplishing the material act that matters. And that is what brings quality to life. The outer act may be mundane, may be ordinary, but the inner being can be beautiful. The flower can actually come to life within. The light can attain to luminosity within. And then what looks like night also turns into day. What looks like a paradox is resolved because within you are rooted. Within your being, your being has gone deeper into the roots of divine existence. So Krishna says, I am the soil, and put your roots deeper and deeper into me, and from there fight. Then the tree is strong. A person like Duryodhan has no strength essentially because there is no rootedness in the divine element. There is no rootedness in being, and a tree which is not really rooted does not come up with any good fruit, any good greenery. It remains very superficial, it comes and goes, and it's almost unable to live, unable to grow. Go deep, says Krishna, and whatever springs from a depth of action is good action. And whatever you do is not a mistake, because then you feel you are not separate from God. You are one with the divine. And that is to live in virtue. That is to live in delight. Even in warfare, nothing goes wrong. Maximum you can be killed. But the anxiety of being killed is not there. You are able to relax into the feeling of the divine, and then you reach a meditative state. Your attitude is a blessed attitude. And it is that kind of attitude which is really the essence of the karma of action. KarmaYoga, which Krishna talks about. To relax, do your act, do not be anxious about it. Know that it is rooted in the divine, and then it can never go wrong. It will always his attitude, which is really the seed of the power or the empowerment that he can feel in life. To understand these things, to understand divinely and not just intellectually, is to move toward the light, is to follow one's intuition, is to arrive at a place where one is totally not ruled by the flickering. One becomes almost like a mirror to the divine, mirroring the divine qualities, and one's consciousness is wiped clean of worry. It is pure, it is aware, it is alive, even in the midst of any circumstance or battle.